Honorable members, Mr. President. Start working. Honorable Senators, prayers. Almighty God, we humbly beseech thee to look with favor upon this youth impact parliament. Grant that it may perform its high duty as in thy sight. Give divine guidance to the executive director of Youth Impact Movement. Endow senators with discernment and vision, integrity and courage, that through the labors of this Senate, the interests and wishes of senators will be well and truly served, and thy good purposes for the common human life be realized in our midst. O God, grant us a vision for this Senate, fair as it might be, a fraternity of righteousness, where none shall wrong his neighbor, a fraternity of plenty, where evil and poverty shall be done away with, a fraternity of brotherhood, where all success shall be founded on service, and honor shall be given to the deserving, a fraternity of peace, where the Senate shall rest on the will of its members and the love for the common good. Bless the efforts of those who struggle to make this vision a living reality. Inspire and strengthen our people that they may give time, thought, and sacrifice to speed the day of the coming beauty of the Senate of Youth Impact Parliament Ghana and Africa. Amen. Honorable Senators, you may resume your seat. Honorable Senators, we move to item 2 on the order paper. Communication from founders. Dear Senators of Youth Impact Parliament, as founding fathers for Youth Impact Movement, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to each of you for your active participation in the recent first joint sitting of the Pilot Senate and the Fourth Parliament of Youth Impact Parliament, Ghana. Your presence and dedication made this historic moment a powerful testament to the strength of youth leadership and collaboration. We are immensely proud of the progress that YIP continues to make, and your contribution to this journey cannot be overstated. We would like to state and use this opportunity to acknowledge the impressive support of our patron who is in absentia, who is supposed to be our guest of honor, Mr. Simon Avoga. He is the president of Ho Technical University Alumni Association. He is consistent in this vision of Youth Impact Parliament and YIM, has become instrumental in propelling us forward. We deeply appreciate his commitment to empowering the youth and fostering a brighter future for all. We also want to acknowledge our patrons in absentia. They are Honorable Divine Richard Boson, the MCE for Ho Municipal, Honorable Peter Nochikote, the MP for Akachinov, Honorable Emmanuel James Flolu, the DCE for Afajato South, Honorable Emmanuel Bedra, the MP for Ho West, Honorable Kofi Ato, the Chief of Staff to the Office of the Speaker of Ghana's Parliament, and Parak Chandulai Tejura, our patron from India. We humbly see this opportunity as a means of acknowledging them and thanking them for their support thus far. As we gather for the third sitting of the first session of the Pilot Senate, we encourage you all to continue striving for excellence. Your role as senators places you in a unique position to drive meaningful change, and we are confident that you will continue to uphold the values of integrity, leadership, and service. Together, we will rise for the betterment of our nation and the advancement for youth empowerment in solidarity. Founders, Youth Impact Movement. Thank you. Honorable Senators, we move to item 3 on the order paper, communication from the President. Honorable Senators, hearing is stated. Our guest of honor and our guest speaker in absentia, it is with great pride and responsibility that I welcome you to the third sitting of the first session of the Pilot Senate. This is a critical moment in our parliamentary journey as we come together once again to debate and deliberate on issues of national importance. I am deeply honored to acknowledge the presence of our guest here because we'll be deliberating on the proper human sexual rights and family values. And we believe that this contribution has aimed in that. At today's sitting, we would engage in an important motion for debate. That is that YIP resolves that the government restricts illegal mining activities, destroying our environment and water bodies. The devastation caused by illegal mining, Galamsey, threatens the sustainability of our environment, and it's our duty as youth leaders to advocate for a strong measure to protect our land, water bodies, and future generations. I encourage each of you to actively participate in this debate and make your voices heard. This sitting will also mark the full creation of our senatorial committees, and the Committee on Selection will assign senators to lead the 16 committees of this House, of whom 8 are standing and 8 are select. These committees will be vital in shaping our legislative agenda and ensuring that we as a body fulfill our mandate effectively. As always, I trust that you will approach your responsibility with diligence, wisdom, and a firm commitment in advancing the interests of the youth and the nation as a whole. Let us continue to work together for the betterment of our republic, upholding the values that bind us, in service to our shared cause. Thank you very much. Honorable Senators, we'll move to item 4 on the order paper, introduction of senators present. We'll start with the clerk and assistant clerk and the senators present. Please use the mic.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. My name is Senator Kekeli, the clerk to the Senate.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Hoseifa Aditse, an assistant clerk.
Yeah. Oh, no. Okay, no problem.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. My name is Doche Samson, an observer.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Elisha Kim Kanya, Minority Leader on the Senate. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Enoch Stedoji, the first Deputy Speaker for Youth Impact Parliament and also Youth MP for Sege constituency. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Sani Husseini, member of the Senate. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President. I go by the name Harriet Senanu Abude, Deputy Minority Leader for the Senate and acting as the Majority Leader for the Senate today. Thank you.
Yeah. It should be okay. Honorable Senators, I welcome you to this third sitting of ours. We'll move straight to the next item on the order paper, commencement of guest business. The order paper has been shared on the Senate platform, but it's also on the status of the YIP contact, so you can go and check it from there. For observers that are here, you can see it on the YIP contact's WhatsApp status. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Honorable Senators, move to item 6, statement on anti-LGBT bill. And that will be done by our Deputy Minority Leader acting as the Majority Leader, Honorable Senator Harriet Senana-Awude.
Yeah. Um, Greetings, honorable senators in the House. His Excellency the President of the Senate, senators of the Youth Impact Parliament, distinguished.
Mike, continue.
Okay. Distinguished colleagues and honorable guests, I, Harriet Senana-Awude, stand before you today as the Youth Impact Parliament Senate Deputy Minority Leader, Youth Impact Parliament Youth MP for Ho Central, Youth Impact Foundation Chief Officer, and the Volta Regional Coordinator for the National Coalition for Proper Human Sexual Rights and Family Values, Anti-LGBT, with a solemn and significant request that resonates with the core values of our nation. As we gather here for the third Senate sitting, we are called upon to consider the future of Ghanaian cultural integrity, its moral compass, and its social fabric in light of human sexual rights and Ghanaian family value bill, colloquially referred to as the Anti-LGBTQ bill. This bill, passed by the Ghanaian Parliament, reflects the shared commitment of our representative to safeguarding the values that have long defined us as people, values rooted in the principle of family, decency, and societal harmony. It is now up to the President to give assent to this bill and hereby codify it into law. We, as representatives of Ghanaian youth, have vested interest in ensuring that this bill, which aligns with the moral aspiration of the majority of Ghanaians, become part of our legislative framework. 1. Preservation of Ghanaian culture and values. Our nation is steeped in traditions that value the family as cornerstone of societal stability. The fundamental premise of this bill is to protect these values from external influences that threaten to erode them. It is not merely a matter of legislation, but a safeguard against a cultural shift that seeks to normalize practices that are fundamentally aligned to our heritage. The Ghanaian concept of the family is central to our communal and religious lives, and any attempt to redefine it outside the natural order challenges the very essence of who we are as people. We must recall that as citizens, we have a collective responsibility to uphold and protect the moral and social tenets that underpin our existence. We cannot afford to turn a blind eye to the global forces that seek to infiltrate our borders with ideologies that are not foreign, but also detrimental to the well-being of our youth. As members of the Senate of the Youth Impact Parliament, we represent the future, and it's our duty to ensure that the future is safeguarded from the corruption of these values. Secondly, reflection of public sentiment. The passage of the bill by Parliament is not an arbitrary decision. It is a direct response to the overwhelming sentiment of Ghanaians who have made it clear through various forums and public discussions that they do not support the legalization or promotion of LGBTQ activities within our borders. Our democracy thrives on the ability of our leaders to reflect the will of the people, and this bill does just that. By assenting to the bill, the president will be affirming the voices of millions of Ghanaians who have expressed their position to practices they see as an affront to the moral and social order. We acknowledge that every nation has its unique trajectory and that cultural diversity across the globe means different nations will prioritize different values. However, in Ghana, the public has made it abundantly clear that traditionally value structure is not negotiable. To allow LGBTQ advocacy to flourish unchecked would be disregard the expressed will of the people. Thirdly, protection of vulnerable populations. One of the most contentious elements of the debate surrounding the bill is the claim by opponents that it promotes discrimination and violence. We, however, must stress that the bill does not encourage hate or harm towards any individual. Rather, it criminalizes the promotion and advocacy of LGBTQ activities, especially those that target the youth. It is crucial to note that our children and young adults are at the heart of this conversation. As a nation, we have an obligation to shield them from ideologies that could confuse or mislead them during these formative years. We are not alone in this effort. Countries across Africa and other parts of the world have recognized that the need to enact similar laws to protect the cultural heritage and shield their population from harmful external influences. Uganda, for instance, has passed one of the most stringent anti-LGBT laws in the world, reflecting a growth trend in which sovereign nations are taking a stand to preserve their values. We must follow suit to ensure that our youth are not exposed to ideas that undermine the very fabric of their identity as Ghanaians. 4. Sovereignty and national integrity. It is important to note that while external pressures, particularly from international organizations, have sought to influence our position on LGBTQ rights, Ghana remains a sovereign nation. We have the right and responsibility to make decisions that are in the best interest of our people. International actors, including the United Nations and certain Western governments, have voiced opposition to this bill, labeling it discriminatory. However, as a sovereign state, we must remember that our laws and values are determined by our people, not by external forces. There may be economic consequences attached to the passage of this bill, such as potential reduction in foreign aid or international partnership. Nonetheless, our national integrity and the preservation of our cultural values cannot be compromised for financial gain. It is our belief that Ghana's development must be grounded in principles that reflect who we are as people. We must stand firm in the face of external pressures and make decisions that will benefit the moral health of our society. In conclusion, we, the Youth Impact Parliament, call on the President of Ghana to immediately assent to the Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill. The passage of this bill is a necessary step in safeguarding our cultural values, protecting our youth, and upholding the will of the people. It is not merely a legal issue, but a moral imperative. By assenting to the bill, the President will be reaffirming our collective commitment to a future that reflects the values of decency, family, and national sovereignty. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, our beautiful Deputy Minority Leader of the Senate. And we are happy for that statement being read. Now, members, our attention has been drawn to the fact that the bill is before the court. So what we are doing, we are not really infringing on the rights of the court. We are just re-examining the entire concept. That is all we are doing. Today, purposely, we are just having a detailed overlook over the entire bill in perspective. So nothing we are doing here constrains or will go in contempt of the court. For your attention. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Honourable members, it's important that we have a full overview of the bill for the attention of members. And I have over here a detailed overview in parliamentary deliberations. This is clearly for the education of members. And just to be fair, it is plenty, but it is not only for the benefit of people seated here, but whoever will watch us and learn from the proceedings ongoing. So I just want to draw your attention to that. So, honourable members, I will read the overview for all of us to learn from it. And from that, we'll take few comments. And from the comments, we'll move on with the business of the day. But the last person to make the comments will be our Deputy Minority Leader, who is acting as the Majority Leader. She is the Volta Regional Coordinator for the coalition that is in support of it. So she'll be the last to make the comments, and her comments will end our discussion on this. So, honourable members, I have the privilege to read the Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill 2023, a detailed overview and parliamentary deliberations to you. The Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill 2023, which is commonly referred to as the Anti-LGBT Bill, refers or represents a landmark legislative effort in Ghana to regulate and criminalize anti-LGBTQ activities within the country. Just as the statement read, this bill seeks to reinforce traditional family values and safeguard the Ghanaian cultural practices. It is also to define the acceptable boundaries of sexual behavior per our national ethos. As a matter of fact, this issue has sparked national and international debates. And the ones that you can recall is even the US saying that if the bill is being passed, it will be sanctioned. Well, That is what they are saying. This comprehensive exploration that I'm going to read to you, it covers the facets of the bill, including the key provisions, the debates that were made in Parliament of Ghana, the public and political reactions, as well as the international opinions that have been shared on it. Starting with the background and the context of the bill. This bill was introduced in Ghana's parliament in response to a perceived increase in LGBTQ activities and advocacy in the country. The proponents of the bill are a list of NDC MPs, and they argue that LGBT lifestyles contradict Ghanaian family structures, culture norms, and religious values. As you know, Ghana is actually a Muslim, dominated by Christianity, and second is Muslim or Islam. And for so long, we have held conservative views on marriage and sexuality. Typically, we have defined marriage as a union between a male and a female, or a man and a woman, or one half and another half, or between a handsome man and a beautiful lady. No one is ugly. So, the leading proponent of the bill is Honorable Samuel Nate George, who is the MP for Ningo Pram. And the bill has been in Parliament for over, is it 3 years before it was passed? Since 2021. Yes. And it was passed last year. Yes. And as of now, it is supposed to be in front of the president for assent, but has been moved to the court for a judicial intervention. What are the key provisions of this bill that we are talking about? Criminalization of LGBTQ activities. It says that all forms of same-sex activities, public displays of affection, cohabitation of individuals of the same sex involving in that act, anyone caught in that act, and any promotion of this act, anyone that is being formed or seen with it or reported to be doing this can face imprisonment from 6 months to 3 years, depending on how severe your matter has been adjudicated. The second one is promotion and advocacy. So when you are promoting this thing as well, you can be jailed. It doesn't matter whether it is a media outlet, a civil society organization, an NGO, an individual activist, or whosoever. When the bill is being passed, you'll be jailed for promoting it or advocating for it. The third key thing is that people seem to be funding LGBT activities in Ghana, domestic and foreign. As well, the bill will see you as one of its praise and harvest you. Media regulations. Clause 10 and 11 of the bill focuses on media coverage of these LGBT issues. So it means if they are holding programs like how we do normal interviews, and all you are talking about is you are talking about the activity, not in discouraging it, but promoting it, you are a prey to the bill. Another thing that the bill seems to justify is the protection of children. The bill is seeking to protect children from being exposed to it. So for the attention of members, I'm not really reading, I'm just summarizing. Yes. The bill is seeking to protect children from the effects of this bill because children, all they see is what they'll do. So if they are seeing it, they'll think it is okay. And the bill seeks to protect them from all this exposure. before they become conscious enough to know that it is wrong, if this thing is being shown on television, it would have been too late to stop them. So that is one thing that the bill is also trying to stop. And the last thing is that for people who are seen involved in this, the bill is hoping that they'll be rehabilitated and cancelled. In case that they have not seen what is wrong, the rehabilitation course will slap it into their head, hit their head hard so that their coconut can shake and the right thing will properly position itself. Yes. Moving to the next section of this overview is parliamentary deliberations. As you know, this bill has been deliberated in Parliament for a very long time. And some of the issues being raised, starting from the majority perspective, is that the majority in Parliament, as a matter of fact, supports the bill. Okay. They support the bill. Both members from the NDC and the MPP side, they both support the bill. Okay. And the only issue that majority seems to have is that it is a private bill. It's not a government-sponsored bill. And for private bills, it is usually private bills are not encouraged to have financial implications on government. But this particular bill has a financial implication in government. And since it is not exactly one of government's priority, government is trying to seek it or take it in because it means they have to adjust their budget. That is what it means. They have to adjust their budget before this thing can really go through. So that is basically the view of the majority in Parliament, but they are in support of the bill itself. What are the concerns of media? The concern they have is that one of the most contested areas of the bill involves clause 10 and 11, which says that media freedom will be affected by this. And what we are talking about is that the bill is saying that if you promote it, you become a prey. But we have a right that says freedom of speech. So this is where the contradiction is coming at. If you have freedom of speech, then why am I going to be jailed for promoting something through speech? That is another contextual debate that they took so much time in dealing with. Yes, they took so much time in dealing with because no bill can infringe on a right stated in the Constitution of Ghana. The bills are to complement the Constitution, but not to cut short the provisions of the Constitution. So that has been another issue. Now, when it comes to the minorities' objections, although minority might not have the vote, they are vocal. And the concerns that some of them are raising is talking about the punitive measures. They feel that for someone that is being seen in this, and because you are promoting this, you are not even doing it, you are promoting, you are going to jail for 6 years, 6 months. It seems to be harsh. It honestly seems to be harsh to them because, if anything, one heavy slap from a soldier man should put you back. Or maybe you go for 3 days rehabilitation course, then your mind will change. But for you to go to prison because of this seems to be a harsh measure. And that is the objection of minority of MPs, not the majority, not the minority caucus, but just a few MPs. That is their view about it. The consequence of being seen in doing this thing is harsh. Moving to the next section of the bill is public and political reactions. As a matter of fact, religious and cultural organizations have supported this bill, and of course, they call for the bill to be passed within the shortest possible time. When it comes to human rights concerns, it's been seen as the issuer of the statement, is saying that it appears to, as a matter of fact, hinder on some is discriminatory. Thank you very much. The bill appears to be discriminatory. I don't exactly know in what context they are talking about discrimination, but the US is of the view that so far as the person has not really broken or has not done anything criminalistic as in our law, it's just about behavior. It's just his chosen behavior. He cannot be prosecuted because of his behavior. That is the discriminative part. People choose to be, you can choose to dress in a particular way, so far as society is not offended. But when we see and identify this particular thing that it is LGBT, you have not even proven that it is LGBT, then the person is being arrested. It seems to be discriminative. That is how they are seeing it. The person has chosen to live this way. But however, the response that some judge has given to it is that our culture does not support this. I'm not sure anyone looking at the very beautiful two ladies here, then out of you can't, so you are telling me that you are not crashing on, you are not crashing on any of the two ladies here, but you want to go for the anus. You want to go for the anus. Really? Yes. Out of the beautiful ladies here, none of the vagina is attracting you, but an anus. Yes. These are some of the cultural issues that we don't see why you should go for that. If nothing, not to annoy the ladies, but the number of ladies are more than the men. A lot of men are already in jail. The number is getting short. And we are still losing brother man to sisterhood. Is that not it? How do they caption it? When you see the male acting like Hindus. Thank you. Say it again. Lose another brother. Yes. How are we losing more brothers? When there are so many beautiful ladies, intelligent, who can cook for you, who can make you feel like you're in heaven. When you are watching them, your brain is already not here again. You're already at Kumasi thinking about how you're going to propose to her. And you still go for a brother man. How? These are the issues that are being raised. Yeah, so but the US feels that it is someone's personal decision to choose who he will mate with. Yes, but the one that some of us can understand is they said someone has gone to marry his dog. Someone has married his own finger. Has got married to a tree. And Unami, the plus. That is the plus. That one self is even worse. You have gotten married to your finger. Oh, it's true. I don't know whether you have heard of that. Yes. Yes. Yeah. A marriage was blessed. Was it a lady or a man? He got married to his own hand. Yeah, his hand. That's the plus. The plus is this the ones that don't make sense. Yes. Yes. That is what I cannot recall. But perhaps the disappointment, the heart breakups. Small breakup now, sister no one allow again. Men go mafia you. Yes, yes. Yes. So in continuing, the potential economic consequences that supports coming from the United States and other states are likely to stop because they are for the thing and we are against. And then, some of the fundings that they come from well-noted LGBTQ organizations. I'm aware that these organizations are even building churches in African countries. So if this bill is passed, it means they'll not build your church for you. But these things don't come for free. These things don't come for free. So in conclusion of this overview, this bill is one of the most significant legislative efforts in Ghana in recent years. And until the bill is passed, we remain neutral. But the cry that we are just crying is that we want to protect our brother men. We want to ensure that you get married to a woman and not to a man as a man. As a woman, don't chase another woman, chase a man. We want to protect our culture. At least if it is polygamy, it's better. Although ladies don't like sharing their men. At least it is better than brother man to brother man. Minority leader. One girl, plenty boyfriends. Yes, but at least it is better than this. Okay. Uh, we don't want that, please. We don't want that. Our main focus is that marry the opposite sex and build a beautiful family for yourself and become a better person in future. Thank you. Honorable senators, the floor is now open for comments on this. Comments on the bill. Comments. Please, anyone who wants to speak on this, just raise your hand and we'll bring the mic to you. Honorable Robert, you want to speak? Okay, let's hear from Senator Sahid first.
Mr. President, I am Sani Fuseni and then a member of the Senate of Youth Impact Parliament. So, what I would say about my contribution to this bill here is related to the concerns that were raised, including the freedom of speech. Even though there's freedom of speech, everybody is entitled to freedom of speech, but then making reckless speeches on a normal day, even verbal threats or verbal attacks here and there, does not grant you or does not say you have a freedom of speech, so you are good to abuse it or you are good to use it in an unhealthy manner at a specified time or a specific time. So with the freedom of speech there, I think that concern should be easy to clarify when it comes to um, crossing out certain things. And the next one was the harshness of the implications, including the 6 months to 3 years imprisonment. Yes, so I think it's the actions will definitely be investigated by the courts and then the other institutions responsible for applying these sanctions. So someone who advocates is different from somebody who is directly involved in the act, or someone who acts in a particular manner should have a different punishment um, from someone who is directly engaging or practicing in it. So there should be clarity on that too, rather than stating it clearly that 6 months to 3 years imprisonment. That is when we have found around any of the things that we don't want to see or we don't support. So the next one was the human rights view as in discrimination. Um, Even though we have the rights to everything, but I don't know how this one becomes discriminatory. But if a society has agreed or a country has come together, then it should not be seen as that discriminatory. I don't think it can be seen as a discriminatory because all the reps, the MPs, they as so far as it was passed through the necessary processes or stages, people have to be enlightened. It is the responsibility of the citizens and the other bodies to enlighten or throw more light on such activities so that people can be see it as something that they don't want. So thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Honourable members, when making comments, hold the mic around your chest. Okay, even when it is far, it will pick your voice. So let's take notice of that. Thank you very much, Honourable Sayi. Honourable Robert.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Yes, an observer. Actually, I would say it's quite funny in a way how the concerns towards these issues are being raised and said to me in this house. Yes, I would say that one of the things that is making it funny to me is how an issue that is being passed in Parliament to be taken to a president to assent to it is now being taken to court. I don't know whether the bill has been sent to the president for assertion before the president again send it to court. For what? My question is, even if it is sent to the president before the president sent it to court, my question is for what? And if it is not sent to the president before it is being sent, something that is being passed in parliament and supposed to end up being on the table of the president and is now in court, I don't know, but it's a question. Why is it sent to court, not the president? Yes, because I don't know. Is the president afraid, or is it that the parliament did not know the route of sending a pass bill? Hello. I don't know if the parliament is not aware of the route of sending a pass bill, but they are now mishandling the route, because this thing must be clear. And also, I want to tackle the one that they are saying the punishment sanction with those who will be engaged is too harsh. In fact, Mr. President, I would like it to even be double. Yeah. Oh yes, I will love it if it is being double. In fact, how on earth will human being play with this? Even animals will not play with this. How more human beings with conscience play with this and saying that punishment meted out for it is too harsh? And also the dying aspect of it is saying that we are discriminating. It's a freedom of speech. So those social media platforms or those houses that will be propagating it, they are trying to turn it, or they are trying to sideline them, because that is their work, that is their freedom to do it. They are trying. Now I want to ask this question: that now, if I am given the right to go to school, if I'm given the right to go to school, and my parents are actually preventing, because the constitution made it clear that I have freedom to go to my basic education, and my parents are now preventing me from not enjoying that basic right. Are they not arresting them? So why will it be a crime for somebody who is propagating something that is bad, and the person is being arrested, or the person is being meted as punishment to punish that person, and we are trying to polish it to make it that it's against the person's right? This is bad, and it is bad. Even the alcoholic drinks that we are selling, we are not supposed to. Social media platforms are not supposed to propagate it. If you are to propagate it, then you have to attach 18 years plus to it, and they are doing that, because if you are found you not adding that 18 years plus to it, you will be what? Arrested, or you will be cautioned. So why on earth will somebody be punished for propagating a bad thing, and we are taking it as is an infringement on the right of that person? This is foolishness. Yes, this is foolishness. And I will say that the punishment should be increased. There was an African country where the price of condom is even more than television. Where because yes, be- yes. Why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? Because they need they want to make it in such a way that before you get married or when you get a young girl pregnant, you will be arrested. Are you getting it? They want the young girls, the young boys to grow up and become something. I've just forgotten the name of the African country. So when you go to the African country, you see that young men and women are doing well because you don't have the right to engage in such activities. Are you getting it? So you grow. So these are all things that are there to guide we human beings, even though we have the right to do certain things. They are there to guide us. It is not every see, we have the right to do everything that is good, but it is not everything that is good for us, as the Bible even says. We have the right to do everything, but it is not all the things that are good for us. So there must be rules and regulations guiding or governing all these things, so that we human beings that we thought we are having the free will to do certain things and then infringing, this is against our customary rights, this is against our tradition, this is against we human beings. So the punishment should be increased to serve as a deterrence, to even make it in such a way that people will not go near it. The punishment should be increased and people should be punished for it to serve as a deterrent to others. Yes, because we don't have to even play with it. We don't have to even play with such things. So thank you very much, Mr. President.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Honorable. Let's hear from Honorable Samson Doche.
Thank you very much, Mr. President and the August House. My name is Duche Samson, an observer. Actually, when I'm listening to comments on the LGBTQ plus, I'm very sad because I don't know the reason why human beings are trying to know more than God that created them. Even in the Garden of Eden, God created what? One man and what? One woman in his own wisdom. But because we are trying to know more than him, we want to what? Alter it. We want to change it to suit what? Our own interest, which will not augur well. God is already angry with us because already it is ongoing. Just that the people are not being brought to book. It is already ongoing. And we know very well that it is against our culture in this country. Even our religious backgrounds. We don't accept those things. But these Western countries are trying to impose these things on us, and to the extent of taking us for a ransom. If you don't do this, we will not give you this. If you don't do this, we will not give you this. I think it is coming and becoming. We have come of age to what? Think for ourselves, to what? Industrialize our country, so that we can feed our people. We can take care of our plight, not that always we will seek what? Help from outside. That is why they are imposing this thing on us. They told us to always, when we wear our shirts, we should put rope around it. In fact, tie it around our necks, to the extent that you cannot even breathe. You can, to the extent that you cannot even breathe. Now they are imposing what? Homosexuality on us and the other friends. In fact, we will not kowtow to that. Let's send a strong signal to them that we are never ready to practice LGBTQ plus in our country. Now the bill is now in the court of what? The president to what? Append his signature. As at now, I don't know what the president is waiting for. And the dilly-dally that we have been playing with our judicial issues in this country is too monotonous. You send a case to a court for more than 3 years, no judgment has been pronounced. What is the court waiting for? The Supreme Court. What are they waiting for? Or how many months does it take to go through what? A bill, so that, or to interpret what? A bill to the citizens. I think they should what expedite actions on this. They shouldn't what wait so long on this. Otherwise, we are going to demonstrate and strike against this because it is already destroying what our society. Now, the jail term is not enough. Yes, in fact, if you are caught, there shouldn't be any trial. Once you are caught, to the prison. Yeah, there shouldn't be any trial. Nobody should go for any lawyer. Once you are caught practicing lesbianism or what homosexuality, straight to the prison. In fact, plus hard working, and those people should be treated bad. Yes, they shouldn't be allowed to learn. Now you see now prisoners are learning or trade there. So now I can say it's free for everybody to commit a crime because you know there is a freedom there. So this is waiting or ginger people to do bad things. Those people should be restricted from those things. In fact, we have to stand against this. We have to stand against this. Otherwise, a time will come, it will not be easy in this country or in the whole world. So I think we have to come up and put more pressure on what? The presidency to assent to what? This bill. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Honorable Zidane. Okay. Okay. I think let's hear from her. Abi,
Yeah.
you want to contribute or you want to give your final remarks?
No contribution.
Then contribute first.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. My concern in whatever is in my mind, they are all speaking it. So, but I want to touch a little on politics side, the health aspect, and and biblical aspect a little. He started biblically, like how God created Adam in God's own wisdom. If we needed another male, God would have added another male. But God, in His own wisdom, added what? A female for procreation. Am I allowed to ask that the president of this country, was it born by two males? Was it not an intercourse between a man and a woman that brought him to govern this beautiful, blessed country by God?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Mr. President, you touched on the foreign aid. If you are afraid of foreign aid, eh, politically, this Burkina Faso president is my mentor now. Captain Ibrahim Traore.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said the French are investing in their country and they are not seeing anything. So he has sacked all of them. We can survive by ourselves. Looking at politics and the foreign aid, we are blessed with what? A lot of minerals. Look at the Western world. The late, let's say the US, they have fuel, oil, petroleum that could take them like over 50 years of their generation. Meanwhile, they don't have oil in their land.
It's true.
Ghana is blessed, but what are we doing? You are afraid of foreign aid. Can we stand up as citizens, as children of God, that we can be independent, sovereignty, we can be independent and survive all by ourselves? Politically, if you're afraid of foreign aid, you can start with something that you say that, oh, we can survive. Okay, let me not go much into politics as a government student, you understand. Okay, let me talk about the health aspect. Are we trying to say that these sexual transmitted diseases, our president is happy that our youth, future leaders of tomorrow, will contract sexual transmitted diseases and they are dying? I don't want to mention names, but there were two guys I went to school with. The last one, I think they'll be burying him this month.
Mm.
And pampers, diapers are for a lot of things. Maybe that it's expensive now because of them. Adult, yeah, the youth buy pampers, diapers because their anus is leaking. This is the health aspect. It's not only leaking. Anyway, baby oil is even not in the system again. That's just by the way. It's expensive. I'm really, really concerned about the health aspect even more than the political side. Mr. President, procreation. Now the ladies are complaining, well, they'll be giving you pressure. You are not married. You are not married. Oh, men are running away with our boys, the youth. They are running away because they prefer the same sex to us. So no one should give us pressure while we are not married. We are so single because the men are not coming to propose to us. I'm speaking as the Volta Regional Coalition. I'm a coordinator for the National Coalition for Proper Human, Sexual Rights and Family Values. The men are no longer approaching us because they prefer same sex. No one should give us pressure. Our African parents do not give us pressure because we need to educate the men now or the guys now to approach us and the health aspect. That's my concern actually. Is it gonorrhea, HIV? You get all diapers, not expensive now. In fact, let me not talk much. Minority leader will continue.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Honorable. Um, let me hear from Honorable Minority Leader. You have a comment? Yes. Eh, just make a comment. I want to hear your voice more.
All right, thank you, Mr. President. Actually, my colleagues said everything already. Now, whatever they have said earlier on is the fact that we should just try and do something about the appeal that
Okay.
they brought on board. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll take last two comments from Robert. Honorable, let me answer your question first. I'm not sure it was the presidency directly that sent the bill to the court. It was a citizen that did that. But what they are saying is that it is probably motivated by people around the president being scared that when the bill is being signed into law, foreign aid will not come again. That is why. So, as much as possible, he preferred to leave the office before this bill matter comes to his table again. If anything, he has left it to his successor to solve the problems that come to him. Yeah, so that is he didn't do it himself. It was someone who was not who does not even hold any public office who did that. I think it was some lawyer who sent the thing to this, and I think it was sent there not exactly because he asked a question on the president assenting, but it was about questions in the bill. He felt that the issues that is discrimination, this and that, those were the same issues why it was sent to the court. But however, people are of the view that let it be assented to, then you send it there for interpretation. The thing has not been assented to. That is why it's looking like it is the president who is presenting it. Because if anything, the court interprets law, not bill. So it should be assented to, then you send it there. But it hasn't even been assented to. It has been sent there. Yeah, it means it is not law yet. So the court interprets law and not bill. That is the question, though. But that is just the update I'm giving you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Still an observer, Robert Fiao. Thank you very much for that clarification. Actually, in my opinion, that citizen should be quickly arrested. Should be quickly arrested. And you see, because already he has exposed himself as a practitioner of the LGBT, whatever they are calling it. Me, I don't want to be calling it, because if I'm calling it, then my teeth even want to break. You get it? Yes. You see, there was a saying that I saw on Facebook. Is it Facebook or one of the social media? He said that no matter how angry a penis is, it cannot do any harm to vagina. You see? Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh, it cannot do anything. Or whose penis was so angry and then trying saying that if this girl come, I will kill her, I will do this. And he was able to do something. You see yourself that will be tired. Because God has made the thing. No. God has made the thing. God has made the thing so special, so enjoyable, so lovely for us to enjoy. It's a pleasurable moment God wants us to have with the opposite sex. And the question I want to ask, I don't know if Kamala Harris is also having a female this.
She's married to a man.
She is married to a man. You see, Kamala Harris is married to a man. And they are the people now telling us that we men should marry men. Meanwhile, she is staying with a man. You see, these are some of the Akufo-Addo is married to what? Rebecca. He's not married to
Seth.
Akufo-Addo too, or Seth, or what have you. Are you getting it? So me, you see, that citizen that is sending those things to court and whatever, they should, if it is him or her, they should bring him. But they are saying that there is plus attached to it. Let's use some nice stick. Let's use it to have sex with his anus. That stick, that modest stick for some time. Or whoever, if it is a if it is a female, let's do the plus for him or her for some time, and then see and experiment how he or she will behave. You see, these things are inhuman. It is better for me to even have an affair with an animal than my fellow man. Yes, so it will be better for me. Yes, and I'm saying that the plus will even be better than the this because oh no, look at this. Oh, what I want to mean here is that oh no, I'm not, but I want to prove a point here. I want to prove a point here. What hello, what I'm saying, I want to prove a point here that even in our families, hmm, I have a beautiful sister following me. Even in our family, we are not encouraged to have an affair with our bloodline sisters. Even some of them, even extended family. It looks so bad. Me, my sister, what connection? There will be no connection. How more you a gentleman? Is it your beard that's going to attract me or your horn? What is going to attract me? Nothing will attract me. You get it? So those people, that's why I'm saying that it will even be better because an animal may be opposite. Whereby I will not use the animals, but I will use because animals, some of the animals are having vagina through of us. So that one would rather be better for me than to look at my fellow man with the anus kanya, with feces. Some of them are not even cleaning their anus. And for me to be doing that with them, this is so bad. Those who are supporting that, those who are supporting that, is because their penis is not working. It's because their penis is not working. If Akufo-Addo is supporting that, it's because he's not able to have time, that pleasurable moment with Rebecca, to feel it. Because if he is able to feel that thing very well, his neochemical this thing will flow from his notochord and come and exacerbate in his mind. And there are 4 chambers of the mind. When that sweetness move from his notochord and come to his mind, he will stop that this thing. Because we have to let the foreign aid. Oh, how is it helping us? It's rather even troubling us. The foreign aid is rather troubling us. It's not helping us. Are you getting it? It's not helping us. One of my colleague from the other side was telling me that we don't have to just we just have to play with the bill, massage it, because if we don't know we are sent to the bill quickly and sent back, they are going to deny us of everything and we will not be able to survive. So that is the trick the president want to play and all that. And I say, it is better we die. It is better we die than to play with sin, because sin, the result of sin is death. Are you getting it? So if you entertain the sin, you are already dying. So we are not supposed to even entertain or engage in a DC with this. We don't like. Quickly pack your tools. So, Mr. President, in fact, I'm very angry, and I want these issues not to even come back.
Thank you very much,
Honorable,
Honorable.
honorable member, I want to make a contribution.
Okay, no problem. Yes, yes.
Yeah. So with this bill, I came to notice one thing, that the Western culture, the Western culture, with the way they do their things is different. We need something from them, and they brought something before us. That when you implement this, we'll give you this. So the ball is in our court for us to decide if it is good for our people, then we can implement this. But we too, we need something from them. So we have to bring in strategic measures that can help us also gain what we want from them. Do you get it? Yes, we can't just say because it's not good for our people, so we will not implement it. We can think about it, look for other means that can help us to implement this. Because when you go to the Western world, they are practicing such things and it's working for them. Yes. If you could really notice the Western world, most people who are into this are very rich.
Yeah.
They have money. Yes, they have money. It's not the local ones that our people are doing here. So these are the things they are expecting us also to do. But they are saying it as if they are buying us or they are buying our country. Yes. So before you do such thing or you pass such bill, you have to bring in people who have strategic measures. You come together, join ideas, and see how it will help us, the positive and the negative impact. If the positive impact is greater, then we realize it will favor us. But when we realize the negative impact is more than the positive impact, then we can abolish it totally because we know it will destroy us, doing more harm than good. So it's not just a bill that you can just go and be sitting around with. It needs strategic thinking, deep thinking. You have to look out to health side, spiritual side, religion before you can do anything on this bill. It's not just something you stand up and just work on. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes. Last comment from Honorable Duchi, and then we'll end this.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Actually, we shouldn't take it from the point that if we did not assent to the bill, or if we didn't accept to practice the LGBTQ in our country, our donors will not give us anything again. We shouldn't take it from that context because they are benefiting a lot of things from us. They invest in our economy. If you check around, there are a lot of companies that are built by those from the Western world. So if they are telling us that if we did not practice the LGBTQ plus, they will not give us aid. I beg to differ. Let us be bold. Let's set the signal to them that if they will not give us aid, we will also not allow them to invest in our country. I think if we say this, it will put some kind of fear into them, and the imposition will reduce. Now, the American president, those who are very instrumental in advocating this, they should come out with their what sexual partners electricity. Kamala Harris should come up with her sexual partner electricity. Joe Biden should also do as well. In fact, the ministers, the MPs, who are very instrumental in advocating this, they should have their sexual partners electricity. If they are really married to what those with same sex, then we can say that we what emulate them. But if it is not like that, then let us go strongly against this. In fact, we shouldn't see anything good on this. Let us be very bold. Let us tell them that we don't want this. Our people don't need it. Our culture does not allow it. So we will not do it. Let us be very bold. One thing that is also killing us in Africa is the human rights. In fact, we are even battling it, or we are even advocating the human right more than those that brought it. Everything human right, it is gradually hot, killing us. An African child, needs to be caned. Yes, need to be used harsh words on before the brain will work. Take it from me. It is true. So if we are saying that what human right, it is your right to marry to a man. It is your right to marry to a woman. I beg to differ. As for that right, let us resist it. Absolutely. Let us put a stop to that right. It will not help us in any way. Thank you very much.
Yeah. We'll take the final comment from the issue of the statement. Give her final comments and then yes, as the issue of the comment of the statement. I don't have any comments again. Okay. Okay. So honourable members, we thank you very much for sharing your opinion on this, and then we hope that the bill will finally leave the hands of the court and it will get assented to. Thank you very much. Honourable members, I'm not sure any senator has a question or petition to ask. So we'll jump 8, 9, 10, and 11. And we are now at commencement of public business. Second, Committee on Selection Reports. Honorable Senators, on the Senate WhatsApp page or group, we dropped the entire order pamphlet over there. Today we'll be forming our committees. So I would like, as the chairman of the Committee on Selection for the Pilot Senate, I'll read out the appointments of senators and the committees. And at the end, the acting majority leader will move a motion to adopt the committee report, and then the Senate minority leader will second it. Since the deputy majority whip is around, I would like you to be kindly join your caucus. Honorable Enoch, let him wear the sash. Please give him a sash to wear. Yes, I hope you be. Are you leaving soon? Okay. So you just talk to me psychic. Do a psychic communication. Honorable senators, standing committees of the Pilot Senate. Standing committees of the Pilot Senate. 1. Appointments Committee. Chairperson, Her Excellency Senator Deborah Nana Bacteria, Deputy President. Vice Chairperson, Senator Michael Fiagbo, Minority Whip. Secretary, Victoria Harrison, Deputy Clerk. 2. Business Committee. Chairperson, Senator Kelvin Azameti Mensah, Majority Leader. Vice Chairperson, Senator Jonathan Nimo, Deputy Majority Leader. Ranking Member, Senator Francis Kofi Kuche. Deputy Ranking Member, Senator Janet Elom Agbezuge. Secretary, Victoria Harrison, Deputy Clerk. Ethics Committee, Chairperson, Senator Faith Maju. Vice Chairperson, Senator Felix Xoakpe Aditse, Majority Leader. Secretary, Victoria Harrison, Deputy Clerk. Intelligence Committee, Chairperson, Senator Elisha Kim Kahia. Vice Chairperson, Senator Harriet Abude, Deputy Minority Leader. Secretary, Victoria Harrison, Deputy Clerk. Organizing Committee, Chairperson, Senator Sani Azud Hussaini. Vice Chairperson, Senator Dorcas Amphobia Kwachi. Secretary, Senator Victoria Harrison, Deputy Clerk. Publicity Committee, Chairperson, Senator Courage Daniel Sedu. Vice Chairperson, Senator Dr. Nunugasu, who is the Deputy Majority Whip. And then Secretary, Victoria Harrison, who is the Deputy Clerk. Rules Committee, Chairperson, His Excellency Jones Amegashie-Viglo, President. Vice Chairperson, Senator Wisdom Adams Adamte. Secretary, Cyril Kekeliamevo, Clerk to the Senate. Welfare Committee, Chairperson, Senator Maunyo Kwaku Bansa. Vice Chairperson, Senator Benedita Jeke. Secretary, Victoria Harrison, Deputy Clerk. Honorable Senators, the report is in the order pamphlet on our page. Kindly go and check there. Page 6 and 7. Select committees of the Panel Senate. Committee on Entertainment. Chairperson, Senator Linda Sena Jobo. Secretary, Imelda Aseye, Assistant Clerk. Committee on Finance. Chairperson, Senator Charles Komi Mapop. Secretary, Imelda Aseye, Assistant Clerk. Committee on Gender. Chairperson, Senator Eugenia Esenam Gamed. Secretary, Imelda Aseye, Assistant Clerk. Committee on Governance. Chairperson, Senator Julius Agbuka. Secretary, Cyril Kekeliamevo, Clerk to Senate. Committee on Health. Chairperson, Senator Mauko Afeti. Secretary, Imelda Aseye, Assistant Clerk. Committee on Literacy. Chairperson, Senator Godson Agbemakilido. Secretary, Imelda Aseye, Assistant Clerk. Committee on Security. Chairperson, Senator Newman Togo Newman. Secretary, Imelda Aseye, Assistant Clerk. Committee on Sports. Chairperson, Senator Evans Gidi. Secretary, Secretary, Imelda Aseye. Honourable members, this is the second report of the Committee on Selection in appointing the existing senators into committees of the House. Honourable members, can the acting majority leader move a motion to adopt the report of the committee? Then after it is seconded, then we take comments. And after comments, I'll put the question. So, motion to adopt the report of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. I, Harriet Senanu Abude, the Majority Leader of the Senate, stand to adopt for the motion.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Seconder to the motion, Minority Leader.
All right, thank you, Mr. President. As already proposed by my majority leader, I also seconded the motion earlier. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Senators, motion moved and seconded is now for the consideration of the House. Honorable Senators, any comments? Any comments? I want to hear a comment from every single senator here because from today, you are assuming your new portfolios. And as I said, we'll be releasing the flyers for the Senate in October. We want to release them before we go to the Parliament's flyers. So this October, we'll be releasing all your flyers with your portfolio. So I want to hear from every single senator here. And for the records, from my left, you have Senator Eugenia, Senator Elisha, Senator Felix, Senator Marco, Senator Sunny, and Senator Harriet. Please, I want to hear from all of you on your portfolios, whether you are okay with the portfolios and you are ready for the job. For your attention, it is only for the pilot Senate. The pilot Senate will expire by January 2025. After that, we would have the full complement of the Senate with all the 48 senators appointed. This is for now to then. So I want to hear from every single senator. So let me first hear from Senator Eugenia on whether she is okay with the appointment and maybe if she has some promise to give her now. Let's just hear from you. Yes.
Um, Thank you, Mr. President. I am Senator Eugenia Gamed. I accept the position given to me, and I will work hard and yes, make sure that whatever I do will honor the name that and position that have been given to me. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So that is Senator Eugenia Gamed, who is going to be appointed as chairperson for the publicity uh, committee on gender. I have a correction. We made a correction, but it hasn't affected here. The correction has not affected here, so I want to put the correction here straightforward. Publicity committee, the vice chair is supposed to be Senator Charles Adonu. The vice chair is supposed to be Senator Charles Adonu. And then committee on health, the ranking member is supposed to be Senator Dr. Enyonam Gasu. We effected it, but I'm surprised it's not here. So let's take note. So Senator Charles, come forward a little bit. You are supposed to be vice chair for publicity committee. I want to give it to you. You know it. So let's hear from Senator Charles, who is going to be appointed as vice chair for the publicity committee. Want to know whether he will really publicize the Senate as well.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I am Charles, or let me say Senator Charles Adoni, and I am so privileged to be given the vice chair for publicity, and I hope to work diligently and effectively. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank
President.
you. Let's hear from Senator Elisha, who is the boss of the Minority Caucus,
I thank
chairman for
you.
Intelligence Committee. Intelligence Committee.
Thank you, Mr. President. I respond to Elisha Kim Kahia, and I'm grateful for the opportunity given. And what I will also do is to put up the best to achieve whatever we all need as such. So, in all, I've accepted, and I will do due diligence to it. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, coming to the majority side, we will first hear from Senator Felix Xoakpe Aditse. Before he speaks, may I state for the records that this has been one of the longest serving members in Youth Impact Parliament. On 8th May 2021, he was then Speaker of HSRC Parliament, and then we needed to take the power from somewhere, so he administered the oath to the Speaker of the Pilot Parliament back at 2021, and he's still here with us. So he's currently the majority whip, and he's going to be vice chairperson for ethics committee. Yes, but as for anytime my deputy is not around, he would step in and act as the deputy president. So I want him to know ahead. So Senator Felix, let's hear from you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I think I'm humbled by all the plethora of positions you are mentioning. We just wish we could do more for ourselves. So I want to use this opportunity to thank all of us who are one way or the other investing ourselves, our time, and whichever resource that went into coming here. I want to say thank you for us. So, and then for me, position is not possession. It's just something that you hold for a period, and then you make sure that your impact over that period is felt. So, for all of us that have been given the various positions, I think what is most important is the account we render at the end of the day. So, personally, I want to say I'm humbled by the position, and then I'm going to put in my best, and I implore my colleagues to also do same. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Now let's now hear from Senator. I don't know whether I should add the doctor now or I should wait for him. I'm still going to add it. Senator Dr. Maukwafeti. We gave him the help because the help there, he's killing the rough. He's killing the rough. So in his words, we want to hear some health terminologies. Yes, yes, because he's coming to chair the health committee of the Senate. He's a big man, oh.
The LGBT and the health
Yeah, hello, House. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Mr. President, I really want to be sure whether I'm the president or the vice chair, because you made mention of Dr.
Yes.
Gasso, who is
So
my
for the
superior.
records,
Yeah,
Committee on Health,
Committee on Health.
Chairperson,
Yeah.
Senator Dr. Maukwafeti.
Okay,
Ranking Member, Senator Dr.
Gasso.
Enyonam Gasu.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so we are all aware about the challenge we are facing in this country when it comes to our health. Not to talk about um, the Galamsey issue that's going on. It has a very great health impact. You all know that when the last tree dies, the last man also dies, and we all know where this green actually gets their nourishment from. And apparently, as we speak, concerned citizen, appreciable stakeholders are all adding their voice to the fight of this Galamsey. And as a health chair committee, I am also thrilled and humbled to be given the opportunity, one, to be able to also add the little I can in my own little power and influence, so that we as a group can also bring our thoughts to bear to the existing one, so that the fight for this Galamsey will actually see the daylight. Because if care is not taken, very soon Ghana will start importing water. And we all know that is these waters that have been polluted that the Ghana Water Company actually depend on to actually purify before we get all that we are having now. So if this guarantee maintenance is not being stored, it means that one, the cost of water purification will also go really high, and the aquatic life will also be impaired. And for sure, this mining industries, they use very like high
I don't know how to say it, but certain chemicals that also have impact in our life. So for now, we may not see the actual impact, but in long term, which is our children's children, will actually have the dire consequence of this menace. So I will be counting on the whole house that you join me as we fight for the health of the entire nation by mainly fighting this menace called Galamsey. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Let's go to Senator. I'm still learning the name. Let me check. Senator um, Sani Azuid Husseini, who is also a health expert, but we have cornered him for organization because he's a very organized gentleman.
Okay. Thank
When
you.
he came, you just saw the aura of organization he came with. So I had to hijack him to the Senate because he's someone who is very organized. So I brought him to chair the organizing committee of the Senate.
Okay.
So Senator Azu, let's hear from you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and honorable
Mr.
senators.
President.
Mr. President, sorry. And honorable senators around. I deem it a great privilege to be part of this August House and to be specifically to serve as the organizing committee chairperson. And I would like to seek the support and guidance of everybody here in the discharge of our of my duties. I pray that we all work in harmony and then make the activities here a successful one always. Thank you once again.
Yeah. The last senator to speak to us is one senator who loves YIP so much. I don't even know whether she's trying to compete me in the love of YIP. But I can say that this senator loves YIP so much as all of us. To the extent that she will cancel every schedule just to be at YIP sitting. Since the time she joined House or Senate or Foundation, she's there. And when we needed hands in forming the Senate, she was there. And today she's our Senate Deputy Minority Leader, and she's going to be the Vice Chair for the Intelligence Committee. We want to hear from her, and in she speaking, we just want you to know we are grateful for your support as well. Senator Harriet Senanu Agude, let's hear from you.
Thank you, Mr. President, and my colleague senators in the House. I don't have much to say than I'll rather thank you all for your support and thank Mr. President for giving me the privilege to serve in Youth Impact Parliament because they have rather impacted a lot and me. I've come to learn a lot. You humble yourself and God lifts you high. That's all I can say. So thank you, rather, Mr. President, for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah. Thank you so much, honorable senators present here. Your presence is so important to us, and even members of the House are very happy that they are taking this serious. I want to just acknowledge members of the lower chamber who are here. They could have decided not to come, but they came here to support the Senate. Cameraman, please put the camera on them, man. Cameraman, not the mic, just put the camera on when I'm acknowledging them, because they could have decided to be sleepy, but they still decided to come and support the Senate. So we have we are starting from this side. Okay, so we have Honorable Samson Doche, Youth MP for Afram Plains North, who is an accredited observer in YIP. I give it to you. He also wants to beat Harriet and I in terms of love for YIP. And I must say, he also, since the first day he came, he has loved YIP, and we pray your love never dies for us. Thank you very much. Another member of the house who is also here. I'm surprised he came because he's a busy man. But well, I'm so grateful that he's here. He is in the person of Honorable Julius Newman. Newman. Oh, Benson, Mensa, yes, youth MP for Abetibi, but in a different parliament, he's youth MP for South Dine. He's also here. Thank you very much. He's a big man. He's the founder and CEO of, should I go or should I get? Eh? Is it Mindset Foundation or what? Mastermind Foundation. He's a big man, but he's not here. Of course, I'm surprised that you came, but well, I'm happy you came. We wanted to see what we are doing here. You know, you are seeing it live and colored. Thank you so much for coming, sir. Yes. And also to my right, two gentlemen that we can call them twins. Let's call them YIP twins because they are YIP twins. When you see one, you see the other. Starting with the Green Army one, who is the deputy minority leader of the House and youth MP for Karachi East. The competing one who wants to compete Harriet and I and Samson for who loves YIP more. It's in the person of Honorable Robert Yaum. Yes. I was equally surprised he came here because this is not a sitting of the Senate of the House or something, but he left his busy schedule to come and support us. And we are really grateful for that. Okay. And the second twin, who is trying to enter my step as well, learning from us as much as possible, of whom, when you talk about love for YIP, see, the way something is doing it, they start long time. I swear you, every day if you don't see YIP flyer on his poster, it's not him. It's in the person of the Honorable Second Deputy Speaker of Youth Impact Parliament Lower Chamber and Youth MP for Sege, Honorable what? Honorable Enoch Kwame Sodoji. Let's give me a here. These are members of the House who love YIP so much that they still want to come and experience what is happening at the Senate. And on behalf of the Senate, we want to say thank you to everyone coming. I cannot, before I put the question, I have to acknowledge two clerks of mine who they are now become like my handbags. The handbags that I have in the Senate. Yes, I need to acknowledge them before we go. My first handbag, who is very smallish, who I can call my daughter if I'm working. Since the day that I appointed her as a clerk, she has always been there. She is the assistant clerk to the Senate, Miss Aseye Inoda Oseifua. She's waving like a princess. And then next to my right is another handbag of mine, my right hand man, a youth advocate. Everywhere I go, he's also there. He's always seated by my right. From parliament to here, humanitarian. It's the person of who is the clerk to the Senate, Mr. Cyril Kekele Amebo. We are really grateful for your love, and then we want to say thank you so much. So, honorable senators, I'll now put the question on the motion that this House adopts the Committee on Selection report. And the question is that all in favor of the report to be adopted, say aye. Not in favor, say nay. Honorable members, I'll put the question again. Honorable senators in favor of the motion, say aye. Not in favor, say nay. Honorable senators, the ayes have it. The motion carries. Therefore, the committee stated in the committee report are accordingly formed with immediate effect. Honorable senators, we have one main business that we want to do before we adjourn. We are skipping the orientation on Senate operations, and we are going straight to commencement of debate. Item 14 on the other paper, a general debate on the motion that reads that YIP resolves that government restricts the illegal mining activities destroying our environment and water bodies. This is a motion that is passionate, very, very, very so touchy to the hearts of senators and members here. We have prepared an analysis on that, and I'd want to read the analysis before the motion is moved and seconded for the House to debate on it. So, also for the records, before I read the analysis, yes, Dennis, can I see you? So, for the attention of members, the analysis is 9 pages, okay? It's 9 pages. Honorable Senators, the analysis is actually 9 pages, but I'll only give the highlights of it. It is important that we give this analysis because the House will debate this as well. The House will be meeting online this month, and they also debate this same motion. And after the debate, we'll add their debate to the analysis, and we are hoping to issue something on this. So I want to, as an introduction to the motion, take you through the analysis. And after that, we'll quickly debate it. And after the debate, we'll adjourn. So hopefully, before 5 o'clock, we should be out of here. Okay? Should be out of here. So, honorable senators, I'd like to take you through the analysis of Galamsey in Ghana, an in-depth review by Youth Impact Parliament. An in-depth analysis of Galamsey in Ghana. Introduction. As you know, Galamsey is an abbreviation for gather, dem, and sell. Galamsey is an abbreviation for gather, dem, and sell. It represents the phenomenon of illegal small-scale mining in Ghana, a practice with severe consequences that goes beyond economics to affect the environment, social stability, and governance. While small-scale mining has been part of Ghana's life for over centuries, Galamsey actually specifically relates to the unregulated illegal aspects of this industry. This problem has become one of Ghana's most pressing national issues of late, attracting significant attention from the public, the government, and international organizations. Despite various government interventions made throughout the years, including tax forces and the banning of certain types of small-scale mining, the problem still persists, and the effects continue to cause damage to our communities, rivers, forests, and farmlands. This analysis offers an in-depth examination of the Galamsey issue, reviewing its causes, impacts on the environment, economy, and society, government responses, challenges, and potential long-term solutions. And from this analysis, we hope to call on the government to adopt a stringent measure to restrict and, at best, if possible, ban Galamsey, protecting the nation from these wild range consequences that will affect us as a nation. I'd like to start with the historical context and origins. So, Galamsey is gold mining. It actually started from the pre-colonial times. And as I already told you, it is the illegal mining that really affects us because it has been there for long. But it is just these few years that it has become so serious. So you see, the people who do Galamsey, as a matter of fact, are people who are driven by poverty. The rich are also in it too, but the Galamsey, the illegal one, it is mostly people driven by poverty. Their interest in quick profit to be made from gold and their lack of alternative employment opportunities leads to this. As a matter of fact, the people who are doing this do not have licenses to do this, and they are doing it out of the formal regulatory framework. Historically, Ghana, as you know, has been called the Gold Coast. It has been called the Gold Coast because our land has a lot of gold in it. That is why Ghana was formerly called Gold Coast. We have so much gold that if you walk around the beach and you are lucky, you step on one. Oh, yes, gold was so much abundant those days. You step on one just walking by the shore. By the 21st century, Galamsey became more organized, and even foreign nationals are now part of the illegal miners that do Galamsey in Ghana. Notable is the Chinese miners. And yes, and now they are even doing it with increasing sophisticated technology. Moving on, what are the drivers of Galamsey and why are they not able to stop? Number one, poverty and unemployment. Yes, people sit in the house, they farm, they are not getting anything. But when they go and they mine small, 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 they are able to build a machine just from a week's mining. How do you expect them to go back to their poverty days? They can't because Galamsey has made them rich. The second is unemployment. You expect them to be doing national service and take 772, whilst they can do Galamsey and get 10,000. 715. After national service, no job. We even have honorable members here who are searching for job. But because their head is correct, they choose not to go and do Galamsey. Who says they cannot do? But because they hold integrity to the highest esteem, they have opted to look for judicious ways to make money and not the illegal one. So poverty and unemployment is a driver of Galamsey. The second is weak law enforcement and corruption, in the sense that we have the laws, we have the interventions, but they are not working because the people to enforce them are sleeping or, to the west, have now collaborated with the illegal miners. They are even doing it. The people to enforce this are even doing it. So law enforcement is poor. Corruption in the sense that the people to even enforce this are taking bribes. So they come, they have to arrest the illegal miners, but they give them one go. They have lost their integrity. This is the corruption we are talking about. A police is coming to arrest you. Then when they arrest you, he takes his phone and calls the big man. Big man, they want to arrest me for doing something for you. Speak to him. I go sort you at 10,000. He can't arrest again. Yes, money stops nonsense. Yes, so weak law enforcement and corruption. The third is demand for gold. Actually, for the past 2 decades now, gold prices have been rising and the demand is also increasing. And it appears the licensed miners are not able to meet the demand. So the illegal miners who sell in the black market are now trying to meet the demand that the licensed ones are not meeting. And this is why Galamsey is still persisting. And the last one is the involvement of foreign nationals, especially the Chinese. I don't know whether they brought them to Ghana purposely to do the mining or they just like gold to the extent that they can't do it in their country. They want to come and destroy our environment. I don't know whether President Xi Jinping is allowing them to be doing this thing over there. Eh? But they have brought them here to destroy our environment. Yes. And they have given big money to, big money to the big boys and the big men. So they can't stop them. That is why Galamsey is still ongoing. What are the environmental impacts of Galamsey? Honorable Senators, the first one is deforestation and land degradation. You all know that at where gold is being spotted is a vegetation. Before they can mine it, they have to destroy the vegetation. And in destroying the vegetation, they have to open the ground like a bowl, ground bowl. If you are not using torchlight and you are walking around, you will fall in one. The land has been degraded and destroyed. And that is the impact of Galamsey. The second one is water pollution, the one that pains me the most. Today, I shared the video of River Pra that has become Chocomilo. If you add sugar per, you have tea. A dangerous tea. This is one of the impacts of Galamsey. A whole river has turned to brown because we are unable to control ourselves with the involvement of Galamsey. It is very sad, my brothers and sisters. Have you seen the video? It's brown, completely brown. Tom Brown, River Pra, River Pra, River Tano, River Uncle Brown. All of them have been heavily polluted due to Galamsey. Eh? Yeah. All of them have been heavily polluted because of Galamsey. And these rivers have been intoxicated. If you swim in them, I don't know what will happen to you. Our hope expert. During the debates, we hope to hear from you the effect of people who drink or enter these rivers now. Mercury is inside. The rivers have been intoxicated. And the last effect is air pollution and human health risks. Now, due to Galamsey, the air that they breathe around these areas has also been destroyed. Now, I don't know, but after we are done, after we end up importing water, you might have to be importing air too. Oh yes, there is a cartoon that they sell air. Have you seen that cartoon before? They have been selling air. And it was like, why should you be selling air? Air is something that God has made abundant to us. But if we don't take care, we will have to buy air in bottle. Oh yes, you open it, or it will be like the one that is in the hospital. You'll be working in this machine. Because of Galamsey, the air is polluted, so you have to be working in these machines. These are very serious issues. Yes, moving on. Economic consequences of Galamsey. Number one, loss of agricultural land. Land that we should use for farming, to eat, to improve what? Vegetation, and improve what? Bringing a lot of foodstuffs to the market, to bring employment, has been destroyed because of Galamsey. Before they can use that land to farm, they need to fill it and fertilize it for years before we can plant on it again. We have lost agricultural land because of this, and it will affect our GDP. The second is reduced government revenue. Yes, reduce government revenue. How? Have you seen it? They said Ghana loses 2.4 billion US dollars due to Galamsey. 2.4 billion US dollars. Eh? Eh? How? We are losing 2.4 billion dollars yearly. First, we are going there seeking for 3 billion from IMF. We are begging IMF for 3 billion US dollars. Once our land is so rich that we are losing 2.4 billion as revenue. How are you losing? The legal miners, when they mine, they pay royalties to the chief and they pay tax to government. And when you accumulate all those, that is a handful of money that can develop us. But illegal miners are not taxed. They don't pay any royalties. There is nothing to check them. 2.4 billion is lost. Phew! Yes. This one, I don't know how to, I don't even know how to absorb it because the 3 billion that we are calling for, have all of them dropped? It's left with one, it's left with the last range. But we are losing 2.4 billion from Galamsey. 2.4 billion US dollars, not Ghana cedis, US dollars. Uh, yes. The next one is decreased foreign investments. How? If the investors know that now your country has become site for Galamsey, you can't even account for it. You are not doing things for. Why should he come and invest in your country? Your lands are getting destroyed. He wants to invest in agriculture, and now your lands are no more useful because of Galamsey. We are losing foreign investment because of this. Our lands are no more becoming attractive again. What are the social consequences of Galamsey? Honorable senators and members, number one, displacement of communities. Communities that are affected by this will now have to move and resettle elsewhere because our government will not control Galamsey. Communities can no more live at where they live because of Galamsey. Communities are displaced because of this. Two, increased crime and lawlessness. Yes, I already stated this. Crime will increase and lawlessness. Already the law is there, you can't enforce it. So if you can't enforce it, it means we are becoming what? Lawless. Increased crime. How? The increased crime, I don't even know how to explain it. Already the Galamsey is already crime. The Galamsey already in itself is crime. So since you are not able to enforce the law and you are becoming lawless, the Galamsey will continue. Increase health risks. I wait to see how our health experts will tell us the effects. I don't have a full complement of that. But we want to, the mercury, I don't know how exactly the mercury hurts us. But if you drink such water, I'm sure your stomach will not do well. Your kidney, yes. So I'm waiting to hear. I'm waiting to hear from our health experts. So what have been government's response to Galamsey over the years? Honorable senators and members, Operation Vanguard. In 2017, the government launched Operation Vanguard, a joint military police task force designated to crack down on illegal mining operations. The task force has made several arrests and destroyed equipment. I think that was how come we were able to seize a lot of, is it excavators? Excavators. Yes, it was from Operation Vanguard. But I heard that these excavators have been released again. They have disappeared, or maybe they are flying. Uh, so the Vanguard has been vagabond. The Vanguard has been vagabond. Yes. Ban on small-scale mining. In 2017, government imposed a nationwide ban on all forms of illegal mining or small-scale mining. But the ban was lifted in 2019, cause 90 log 1. Thank you. C. Community mining schemes. Government has provided mining schemes to ensure that communities that do this in the right direction. I don't know whether they are still doing it. The fourth one is engagement with traditional authorities. The chiefs have some been given an active role to ensure that illegal mining stops. Government itself might not be able to be going around, but the chiefs are always there. The land is yours as a chief. So government has increased their involvement in curbing Galamsey. What are the challenges that we face in addressing Galamsey? Honorable members and senators, the first one again is corruption and weak law enforcement. The word is not even coming again. And this one you know already. I don't even need to talk about it. The people to stop the thing are involved in it. How are we going to stop it? How are you going to stop it? The people to stop the thing are now doing it. Oh, so sad. So sad. B. Inadequate resources for enforcement. So you have formed a task force, go and do the job. Then they'll bring a big budget. The budget to stop Galamsey is even more than what we gain from Galamsey. How? How will we be able to stop it? Eh? To stop Galamsey, they have to buy 10 V8s. This, buy new uniforms and that. But if you don't buy for them, they can still stop it. Just pay some errand allowance and stuff. Yes, but the budgets they bring right now, government cannot do it again. The third one, economic dependence on Galamsey. I've heard issues about the fact that when you stop Galamsey, which job would the youth do again? Crime will increase. And then how will the big man meet the demands of the community again? These are the issues coming. So Galamsey is part of them. They can't stop. Please, not to agitate anyone, but they say if we stop Galamsey, we will lose our seat in parliament. Ah, yes, yes. There is, yes, to be frank, some way, somehow, because of Galamsey, I'm aware I had a discussion through Galamsey, the people who are doing it correct, they support the communities. But our issue is that the illegal ones are destroying our water bodies. That's all we want. That's all we want. We don't want this thing to affect our water bodies. We are not saying that what mining should stop, but it's the illegal and irresponsible minings. Yes. The next one is social and cultural acceptance. Honestly, when you go to some villages, the chief himself is doing Galamsey. How would you stop? How would you tell the policeman who is doing the crime to stop when he himself is involved in it? It can't. So the chief that we have given authority to stop Galamsey, he himself is the vagabond of Galamsey. The next one is foreign involvement. The Chinese, I already told you. Fifth, political influence. The people at the top are doing it. They are the ones sending the money to buy the machines, giving them allowance to go and mine. When it comes, you give them their cut, you take your own, everyone is fine. Political influence, how can we stop when the people from the top are involved in it? G, limited community involvement. Some people have become so tired that when you talk about Galamsey, they want to slap you because they talk, say, nothing is ongoing. So now they have become unconcerned. Yes, they have complained to government, they have done petitions, they have done this and that. The thing is not stopping. So they have lost interest in the fight against Galamsey. So due to that, there is limited community involvement. There is limited community involvement. What is the way forward? The way forward is tackling corruption and strengthening law enforcement. I will not explain that because I hope in the debate we'll talk about it. B, economic diversion and alternative livelihood programs. Please take note of these points when debating. C, community involvement and empowerment. D, environmental restoration programs. I hope I'm not running fast. Let me go through the solutions that are here. But you guys will have more solutions. A, tackling corruption and strengthening law enforcement. B, economic diversification and alternative livelihood programs. C, community involvement and empowerment. D, environmental restoration programs. E, international cooperations. So we are hopeful that when these solutions are being looked at and more that senators will talk about, Galamsey will come to an end. Some of us, the way River Pra has turned to Chokomilo, that is what we are worried about. The way, let me just continue. I'm on the, yes, tantamount to insubordination and discoabulation. Conclusion, we therefore call on government and all CSRs to help us fight Galamsey. Because if you are not suffering from it today, you might suffer from it tomorrow. Today you are here, you might go to what? Those places in the future, and you eat, you drink, you bath, you walk. If that place is not safe, maybe Volta is safe, but you go there, maybe you go and get married over there. So if you don't fight it today, it might come and haunt you tomorrow. So we are just calling on government and all persons who are doing this to please help us stop this. On this note, we thank you very much for listening into the in-depth analysis. Thank you. So to debate the motion, can a motion be moved? To debate this, can we have the acting majority leader move a motion for us to debate on this, and then the acting minority leader second, and then we'll now start the debate on this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. I stand for the motion to be moved for today.
Thank you very much. Seconder.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I second the motion moved by the majority leader. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Senators, motion moved and seconded is now for the debate of the House. Who is ready to make the first statement on it? Yes. Honorable Robert, let's hear you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. The name is Robert Fiaonu, an observer. Yes, all has been said to us, and the only thing that I will say now is the way forward. And also, the way forward was even outlined. And one thing that I came across and I want to say is, even though it has been said,
Oh, continue.
yes, but I would like to make it clear to the House, because the last time I was fortunate to partake in a conference at Labadi Beach Hotel, and some discussion went on there. And the issue is Ghana, we Ghanaians has been paid, or all the time they have been giving money just because of our green vegetation. Yes, just because we have green vegetation, they give us millions of dollars. And so here, and I quote, that the country received 4,862,280 US dollars just because of the reduction of carbon, just because of our green vegetation. And this is the amount of money currently we have been losing. 4,862,280 million. This is the money we are talking US dollars. It's in US dollars. So this is the amount of money that we are currently losing just because we are also losing our green vegetation. And it's pathetic, it's funny for us to be losing this kind of amount and be chasing foreigners for money that is fully attached with conditions that we will now become animals just because we are taking money from them. It's sad. So all I will say is the most difficult part of the whole issue is that the Galamsey has now become a complex issue, which one person will not be able to tackle a complex something. It must also be done away with in terms of that complexity or that collaboration. And the bottom line here is that the people who are supposed to also tackle the issue here are also involved, which has made it so difficult and made it in such a way that we have to only depend on God for us to be safe. Because like we've rightly said, the free will, the right to the freedom of speech, the freedom of doing whatever you want, which the Western world is now imposing on us, that now because we have the free will, it's actually killing us gradually. And because of this instinct God has created with human being, that you have the right to choose, it has damaged us, it has destroyed us. Meanwhile, on the perspective from which God has created that free will for man, that is not what God designed that free will that man is going to use it for. But we have now become the omnipotent, and the more of the omnipotent than God. So we want to now teach God. We want to now tell God that you are a novice, you are a beginner. We are the masters of whatever he in fact, we can't challenge him, or we can't compare ourselves with him. So, Mr. President, I will say that uh, sensitization, community sensitization, engagement. And the problem here is our folks are also saying that they are poor. That's the only way they can survive. But we educating them, letting them know that yes, we all want you to be rich. But let's also look at how it will damage our future. Let's look at how it will damage our children's to come, when we are able to tell them to stop this. In fact, it will help us, because we can't start from the top. We can't blame the leaders as such when it comes to certain issues. I've been saying this because the individuals are what the leaders are. I've been saying this. We, the individuals, we are what the leaders are, because we are giving, because of the democracy we've created now, we are giving the mandate to select the leaders that we want. So the kind of leaders we have is indirectly proportional to the kind of individuals or citizens we have today. So, and we the citizens, or we the individuals, are the majority. So we can't say the few to change before we the majority change. We the majority rather must change first, then the few will also change and follow, because we must give them pressure. So all the time I've been saying this, that it's we the individuals, it's we the citizens, that when in terms of the effect, in terms of the impact, we are the one going to feel it more, because our MPs, more of them are engaged in such activities. When you look at them from both sides of the party, they are many. I can mention Charles Besu. When you look at Shama district, when you go there now, in fact, from 5,000, we are now launching into 10,000 individuals suffering from typhoid, just as an impact to what? Illegal mining. From 5,000 to 10,000, just within the interval of, I think, 9th June to 29th December 2023, which is not even up to a year. And that is the increment of the impact of Galamsey in Shama district, of typhoid, people suffering from typhoid, from 5,000 to 10,000. So we the individual are the ones feeling the impact. So we the individuals have to do the change. So, Mr. President, me that is what I have to say. That we the individual must stand on our toes, must resist this illegal mining, which we are even the major culprit of it. And with that, the leaders will also change. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's receive an input from Senator Felix.
Thank you very much, the House and the President, for the opportunity to speak on this very pressing issue. Personally, all of us are aware of the Stop Galamsey protest that is ongoing. And I happened to pass through the protest Friday, because I'm one of the citizens who feel, give or take, whether you belong to Party A or Party B, the harm is looming. It's coming upon all of us, and it's not selective. The same source of water that I take from is the same source that I believe other people are also taking from. The only people who might be exempted is the big man who we are talking about. As a matter of fact, I was giving an example to my friends that at the day that the protest was ongoing, a friend mentioned that he was going to 37 to he came to join us, was also clad in black and red, signifying that he is also against the menace, but he was going to the hospital to do some checkup. And I was saying that this fight being for the youth is one that we are supposed to take serious, because the minister at large, Asante Bedietu, as we speak, there was a communique from the presidency about his health. And this man we are mentioning is a citizen of this country, is holding position in this country, and is enjoying all the benefits this country has to offer. But he's not seeking treatment in the country. That tells you that whatever harm there is that would come upon our heads will not be going to the Mr. Asante Bedietu, but would come to me and my friend who will go to 37 for medical treatment. That tells you that these people are well to do, and if it comes to West, that we should be importing water from wherever we have to import the water from. They have the power to do it. But come to ask yourself, as an individual, do you also have that power to do it? Even for the food we eat, we are forced to be playing it like cha-cha. We are selective. It's like football formation. You eat one in the morning and then you starve in the afternoon so that you can eat one in the evening. We call it 101 and all that. That is telling you that we are actually at the side of the curve where there's a lot of pain looming. I traveled to Asamankesi over, I think, last 2 weeks. A friend lost their mom and then went there. On our way there, and I realized that about two of the rivers we crossed were all looking like chocolate tea. And and people were fetching, like you see people fetching the water. It's not like it's not maybe the water is not in use, it's just there. But this is the water that some people are depending on. The recent videos are showing that the water that we those who are in Accra and claiming that we are in a capital city, the Wager Dam is gradually decolorizing. It's also becoming tea, which means that the entire Accra, because that's the water that feeds all of us, which means that the entire Accra is gradually going to be joining the villages and be served with the same cup of tea. All this is the reasons why I sit and then I look at some of my colleagues who are belonging to political parties, and then they make comments, they try to rubbish what other youth are, or the means other youth are using to put their voices out there. And then I'm sad. It makes me sad because I feel, what else should be done? You ask yourself, what can we do about this menace? The problem is there. What solution can we find to it? The illegal mining, as we say, we have legal mining and then we have the illegal one. The legal mining is controlled in such a way that the environmental impact of it is not affecting us directly. Maybe in a way, give or take, if it comes to mining, there might be some destroying of something to get something. Is a give or take equation. But when it comes to the illegal one, we realize that what is being done at Anglo Gold Ashanti, the Ashanti Gold Mine, and other places that are legal mining in quotes, that means it's not same as what is used in the illegal mining method. In fact, for those of us who do a bit of traveling, if you've ever used the Takrady to Takwa stretch before, there are places that you could see in open. And what I'm saying right now, I believe as at now that we are speaking, if you go there, you will still see in open space by the roadside. So this illegal mining we're talking about is not something that is the people go and hide in a bush somewhere and do it. No, and it's a big problem. So the what some of us would advocate for is that instead of having the few majority enjoy the benefits of having the gold, why don't all of us, if you think you want to really go into the mining, then put yourself together, have it in a more organized way, and then maybe that one we can still have you do your business and like we all live on. But if we would have to sit down and then we agree that okay, these people they are Galamsey, yes, they should continue their Galamsey because that's their only source of livelihood, and then we end up killing on us, all of us, then I think we are not helping ourselves. Every profession is important, and then we can equally say the people who are doing certain high risk jobs should, or maybe the fishermen should go into the sea and finish all the fish in one day, or any other job that is high risk. But everything, too much of everything is bad. So I think I would want to speak on the fact that if you look at it, it is very difficult to even fight the menace because the only means we know how to use, which is to use the media, is being blocked. If we don't take time, the next minute after speaking to this issue, even over here, if this video goes online, people might receive attacks. That is how bad it is. And then the next one is maybe we want to do a peaceful protest as it is happening in Accra. We have a chunk of people who have been locked in their police cells and prisons. And you ask yourself, where's the human right? Who is the one supposed to uphold all these rights? The police. And I passed through 37 on the day of the first arrest, and then I realized that the police presence was more than the protesters. The police was saying that the protesters shouldn't use the 37 stretch that leads to the Flagstaff house, so they blocked the road, and the people also blocked the 37 side. So who is actually blocking the road here? Who is actually causing traffic here? Who is actually doing all the bad things that they are tagging the people to? And so that option is also out of it. And then the last option would be for us to express ourselves, like freedom of speech. And that is also being taken away from us. So in a nutshell, I would say it's a problem that it looks like we can't do anything about it unless God intervenes for us. But anyhow, this is my take on the topic. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes, so thank you very much.
Yeah.
Honorable Harry Senator Abude.
Yeah.
Yes. Honorable members, Senator Felix Aditse, acting deputy president, to take the chair.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. President. But before he takes the chair, everything that he has said is it's well received, and I think. But his last point saying that we cannot do anything about it. I believe every region has a leader, has a chief. So what I just want to say is, can those region chiefs come to see our Volta regional chief? Why is Volta region water bodies clean, not Tash? What's the secret? Can they come to our chief and ask him the secret for preserving our forests and water bodies in Volta region? Voltarians, we need to clap for ourselves once again. Uh, I don't have much to say. I'm just so excited that Volta region is disciplined and the corruption has not gotten here. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Harriet. We'll take some points from this side of the house too. I think we have to create a bit of a balance. So please, any opinions from this side? Okay, you want to come in?
Yeah. Mr. President and honorable senators, this issue has been very alarming, as we all know. The consequences have been so clear that nobody can deny. We all know that there are a lot of rivers that have been polluted. They have turned into Tom Browns, Milos, and what have you. A lot. So I believe that the agenda is on course, but then the timing. You see, when you want to push any agenda, it should be pushed at the right time. If it comes to political seasons and then you are calling for people with power to give you support, whilst they are, it's their time to seek for another power, it's very challenging. Honestly, it's very challenging. No political party will put a hand or will rise up against it, and at the end, it will go against him or her. No. So that there's that kind of less commitment from the top, and the people on the ground still don't have that power, because you go out to demonstrate, you do the little you can in your community, and then the policemen and then the other security people are around. They are against your agenda. What are you going to do? That means that the impact will be less felt. So we pushing agenda here, or we advocating on illegal mining. We are advocating against illegal mining at this time. I'm praying that it shouldn't be a thing or a seasonal activity that we do during before any political or during or close to any political or election year. After elections, we should still put up plans and then fight the menace, and I believe that it can reduce. And also the unemployment rates, as stated earlier, is also another factor here. So we just need to sensitize and then also collaborate with the government or the ruling government to also put up more jobs, and then if possible relocate some of these illegal miners who are ready to move. There are some people who are ready that when they get a job or sustainable activity, they can leave and go. The other people, they don't have any choice, so where do we expect them to go? So there's that kind of less commitment there. And also those who are already involved, we just want them to give it a little thought, that they should just think about where the contaminated water or the polluted water is streaming to. It's going to most of the villages. And in these villages, there are also human beings there. These are people who cannot afford sachet water once a week, once a month, or even a year. Don't By a year time, they'll not even be able to take to buy or afford sachet water. So they are dependent on the contaminated or polluted water or the rivers that we are destroying. So that means we are killing ourselves. And nobody would like to commit suicide or kill his or her fellow human being unjustly just because of some gains. So I think it's a collective effort. There should be much commitment. We just need a little push. We shouldn't be like, oh, we have made a lot of noise. Government is not saying anything. The chief is involved. The whoever is involved. We just need a little commitment, and there's no room for giving up until our needs are met. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable. I think we'll take one more point from this side of the house, and then we'll come to the minority side.
Okay, thank you very much. I really want to take a cue from what you've said before you actually assume the position about the human rights advocate or something of that sort. Recently, our president was granted an interview in France, or France Talk something, and the interviewer actually posed a question about the over 40 something people that were detained. And to our surprise, he said he's not in charge of judgment or judiciary sort of a thing. So to say, he does not have the right to actually give them some sort of a relief or amnesty. Meanwhile, we all know that he is a commander in chief. Today, apparently, as I speak now, there are some Galamsey sites that have the protection of military. You go to some site, you see military people going to those sites every morning to take their daily bread. Now the question is, why how come they've gotten that backing? Like, I don't know whether I get what I'm trying to say. Because if you don't have the backing of someone who is more superior than you, they cannot go to that extent. And also, I feel strongly that individuals who have engaged in these Galamsey activities have little or no idea about the consequence or the side effects of this Galamsey. Temporal gain, long-term pain. Coming to health-wise, it has the tendency to affect pregnancy, even the brain, kidney, liver, and then just to mention but few. So I am of the view that not only the Ghanaian citizen who are concerned about this Galamsey to always go on demonstration, all those things, but we also want civil organizations, institutions who can also rise and say no, we really want. And I was glad to actually chance on the media when the labor union actually held a press with the president, like giving him strong warning about the need to actually stop the Galamsey. And we all knew what the president said. He said that he actually needed some days and all those things. And trust me, the president is very much aware of this, because just as when they were having that tete-a-tete, a lot of licenses were given even within that hour that the president of this republic was actually engaging the labor. So I feel strongly that aside these people who are involved in this menace are being exposed to the consequence, the side effects of this Galamsey present and the future, concerned organization, appropriate stakeholders can also come to bear and join their effort, just as how they fought to prevent the sale of these snake hotels and things. The same thing can be done, because the voice of the people is the voice of the Lord. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable. I've taken one line from you, and I would be pushing it to my status pretty soon. Say temporal gain, long-term pain. Thank you very much once again. Honorable, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I'm Charles Adonu, the acting minority leader. Mr. President, the fact is, as a country, we are dying. And it's like when they hold your neck and you are pressing and you are shouting, I am dying, there will be nobody there to rescue you. Because when they tried to protest, those who want to protest, now they have been arrested. We are all trying to fight Galamsey because it is not good, but we don't have the voice. Those who have the voice and are going, they are arresting them. What will you and I do about it? We are saying it is not good. And what they are doing, the Galamsey, it is good. And we all know that it all has political backing. And since it has political backing, we all know that the next government to take over will have problem, because the next government also has its own policies that it outlined that when I come to power, this is what I am coming to do. And now this is a big issue. Galamsey, our water bodies are being destroyed. Will your citizens die before you implement the policies? So right now they are trying to set everything backwards, because imagine President Mahama becomes the president of Ghana and the people are dying, the water is not clean. How is he going to work with a 24-hour economy? He is now going back. He will try to go back to fight all these things. And when his years are over, then he is due to be like the opposition will be like, when he was there, he couldn't fight this, he couldn't fight this, he couldn't fight this. So it is true, we are dying as a country. Instead of us to move forward, we are going backwards. Mr. President, it is true that one cause of this Galamsey is unemployment. I said in the lower chamber previously that the current government, promised the youth that when they come, they are going to make sure that there is enough job for us. They promised us one district, one factory, planting for food and jobs, and a lot, 1 million to all district assemblies. Mr. President, have you seen all those things? No. That is the answer. So everybody for himself, God for us all. And once this statement is issued, political leaders back it with them and they follow them. God for us all, everybody for himself. At least let me sponsor with my money, and when the gold and everything comes, then I'll also take something and I'll use it to promote my campaign for me to win power again. Meanwhile, when they win power, you, the citizen, the one that destroyed your own water body, you are going to suffer a lot of issues, health issues, and stuff. Imagine a pregnant woman drinking yellow, brown water. It is very funny that one time ago I saw, I don't know whether to say it's a sad video that I watched or a funny one, because the guy was actually at the middle of the river and then was taking, or let me tearing bread, and then he will dip it into the water and eat. I don't know to say if it is very sad or it's funny, because in actual sense he is not supposed to do that, and in other way he's trying to send a message. Very soon, very soon, when you open your tap, you are going to see brown water. Very soon, the food you are going to prepare will become brown. Already we have the teeth to be brown, because there is no longer Milo or whatever. You have it already. The water is brown. You just use your bread and you eat. You are going to have brown akple. You are going to have brown galiba. So this is actually a serious case you are dealing with. And I know very well that this issue, if it can be handled, this privilege or this challenge can be handled. Mr. President, to summarize, or to simply put, to summarize whatever I'm saying, I will say it is true. We all need education. My honorable senator said some people, they don't know the consequences of whatever they are doing. They don't know what they are doing. So when education gets there, they will actually adjust to it and know that, oh, we are not just destroying the water bodies. At the end of the day, we are destroying ourselves as well. And when they know all these things and education gets to them, I know they'll adjust, and soon we can fight this together. One of the Protestants was singing when they arrested him, and they were sending him, I think, to the Contaba. He was singing, "Arise, Ghana youth, for your country. The nation demands your devotion. Let us all unite to uphold it and make a great and strong. Because we are all involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building our motherland." Mr. President, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this insightful piece you have shared with us. We'll take one more contribution from the honorable member.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, for giving me the opportunity. My name is Doche Samson. Galamsey and its matters arising. Actually, it is very sad when you see the water being polluted. I don't know what magic we can do to reverse that water to normality. But how do we tackle Galamsey as a whole? Now it has already happened. So how do we remedy the situation? We are always putting the blame on those placed at the helm of affairs, that they must issue a command. They must do this before issues of Galamsey will be resolved in this country. I think to some extent, those who are saying that are right. But let's also look at this. Someone said, "Fix the country now." And I asked a simple question: where should we start fixing the country from? Is it from the presidency that we should start fixing the country from, or from our doorsteps? I believe that we should start fighting or fixing the country from what? Our doorsteps. The chiefs that owns the lands, They gave out the lands for what Galamsey to take place on the lands. So if we are fighting Galamsey, I think we should bring all the chiefs together and then we discuss how Galamsey can be prevented, and even pass a law that if Galamsey or illegal mining is ongoing in your environment, you, that particular chief, you should be arrested. Family heads should be what involved. I think let's fight it from there. But when we are just discussing it, shouting, the government of the day should do something about it. It will never work. People are saying that military should be what deployed to the areas to sack the people. I think that method has been employed some times ago, and we can all attest to the fact that it did not work at all. Using force to drive the people away, it will not work, because when you look at it, everybody is engaged in this Galamsey. Even our religious leaders, they are involved. The chiefs, as I mentioned earlier on, the politicians. So it is a well organized crime. So it needs a proper dialogue. Let us sit down, involve the chiefs, especially the chiefs. But when you are putting pressure on the politicians, I think we are making a little mistake at that end. Let's go to the people, those that are having the lands, those that give out the lands. Let's appropriate them. I heard the chief of Ashanti, Nana Osetutu, Otunfo Osetutu, has distilled some chiefs for supporting mining in their areas. I think he is on the path. Let us continue in that way and put that fear into them. I think it will work. Then again, the shouting is too much. Unemployment has added a lot. What should we do? Let us industrialize the country. Let's build more factories so that we can employ these people. I think that would be the best way. But just pushing the military to instill fear into the people to leave the site and come back home, and the next morning they have nothing to eat. It is very bad. Let's be finding livelihoods, the works that they will be doing when they leave post. We shouldn't just go there and push them. Let's find work for them to do. Someone will also say that those that are doing it currently, there is no work. That is why. But I think farming is not a crime. I don't know why we all decided not to farm these days. We all want to be under the farm. Enjoying. We don't want to farm. Those that are there, majority of them are from a Volta region here. They have lands that they can farm and eat. But to some extent, enviness is also part. Yeah, let me be rich overnight. When I mine, I'll get money quicker than farming. This is also killing us. So I think the government should also put it on their show to make farming very attractive as well. And those that are showing interest, let's give them capital to start. But more importantly, factories should be built around that we can also get them on and work. When you look at the health aspect of it as well, you may think you are in a Volta region. No river has been polluted here, so I am out. You are deceiving yourself. Absolutely, because you buy fish at the market and you eat. It is intoxicated. It is being already poisoned, so it will affect you too. One thing that I want to also talk about, the pressure on the sitting government. He does this. He didn't do what he did. I think this government has been the only government who fights Galamsey more than all the other governments. The previous government, for me, couldn't do anything about it. But what they are doing now is organize people, motivate them to demonstrate against the ruling party. Meanwhile, they know in their region nothing of that sort was done to remedy the situation was not done. But they are behind that. You won't know. They are behind that. So I think let us find a proper way of what doing it. Otherwise, we'll just be talking, dialoguing, moving what, spending much. But at the end of the day, we'll lose the battle against what Galamsey. They have been saying using two terms. I don't actually know which one devastate the environment. Illegal mining and legal mining. I don't know whether the what legal mining does not have any effects on our environment, the lands, the water. I don't know whether this what legal mining does not have an effect. But always they use these two things to what confuse us. I need more clarification on that. So if any member of the house know is very conversant with that aspect, after my speech, he or she can take the podium and what and educate me on that. Then if we look at this, what I want to talk about, the water what bodies. Some places, make as see you, the water is no more flowing. It has become very compact. You see, we are destroying the land for what? Posterity. So we should find those what a way of what remedying all of this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable, for your points well made. I think everybody has had the opportunity to share their views on this very pressing issue. And one advice sitting in this position I would like to share with the House is that I'm one of the people that I prefer not to be very political about this kind of issues, because if we want to be partisan about it, everybody would have a say, everybody will have a view, and we might, in the process of expressing our political views about the whole menace, lose sight of the harm that is being caused. I realized from the people who I interacted with in the protest that some people were doing comparison in so and so year. This is the number of licenses that were issued. In whatever year, this is the number of licenses that were issued. And then it took my brain to the answer to your question. So we have, as I mentioned earlier in my submission, what we call the legal mining. Legal simply means that the thing is being done within the premises of the law. So the regulations of the law is saying that if you want to go to this particular location, use this route, and that is what you are using. So it is legal. If you are using any alternative, then it becomes illegal. So within this premise, we are still saying that there are people who have been licensed, which means that whatever activity they are doing is supposed to look legal, or they are supposed to use the legal approach, because before you are issued a license, you are supposed to declare your means and all that. So it tells that, okay, at the end of the day, so and so, maybe Harriet Enterprise Mining Company is supposed to work within the premise of how the regulations are supposed to be. We have agencies like the Environmental Protection Agency, and then the assemblies and all that have laid down procedures that the mining processes are supposed to take. When I mentioned Anglo Gold Ashanti and the likes, you will see that they are, by all means, it's a bargain. The moment there is mining, there is something that is going to surely be destroyed. Just like when we are creating roads, when we are trying to build roads, definitely we will have to clear some vegetation and all that to get our roads, same as the mining. And then we need that revenue that the mining gives us. But for some few to gather and sell and get their own money at the detriment of the rest of us who depend on the natural resources that they are depleting in the process of getting their money, that is the underlying factor. That's what we are against. That's what we as youth of Ghana are against. Not wearing any political whether it is a political season before the issue is up or it is not a political season, it doesn't change the fact that the menace is on us, and then whatever impact it has is on us. The timing, I don't think, is an issue, and except for the beliefs that it is being sponsored for particular reasons. But does it change the fact that we have a problem? These are the questions we should be asking ourselves as youth. And give or take, we are going to be benefiting from these natural resources. Should they be in the good state? And then if it goes otherwise, we are at the end that would suffer whatever there is. So I want to employ all my colleagues that in our own small ways, all the solutions that we have proposed, starting from the education of the people who are engaging in these activities to desist from it or use the best approaches, and then to the employment and all that we have suggested in our own small ways, whichever means we can use to help to stop this menace, it is welcome. I think that is the way to go instead of being so political about it. Thank you very much. Are we getting any other submission from any honorable member, or we adjourn this?
Touch on what I did mention earlier on about how voter region is in other regions have leaders. Can you, because we have
So I think
chiefs here in voter region, but voter region water bodies is so they are disciplined. So how come any solution like
I think if I would share my view on the issue you are raising, there are a lot of factors at play over there. One of which is the availability of the natural resource in question. Are we also sitting on that amount of deposit that we can just wash the ground, and then we can just practice a bit of surface mining and then we get it? Are we as greedy as the people in question? Because as I'm saying, it's not something that we can remove ourselves from. The streams are interconnected. So we might not experience it physically now, but the water that is moving from all the way up north is coming down and it's washing all through to the sea. So one way or the other, if care is not taken and then this persistent pollution continues, chances are high that even if not the decolorization, the chemicals that are used in the mining, the mercury, the cyanide, and the rest can still get into our water bodies. And just as the honorable member said, we are buying fish and other things from the market of which you don't even know where it is coming from. So I also read in a news that the Domahini has also rolled out some measures as a counter measure against the Galamsey, and then same as the Asante Hini about dethroning some chiefs who were found to be actively involved in the illegal mining. So I think these are the ways to go. And then it is worth the mention that over the years, when it comes to certain issues, including this Galamsey, I bet that I've come across a document that suggests that we have mineral deposits at our side of the world. I'm particularly talking about the Volta region, but these are not being exploited. And then we'll just hope that we don't also become greedy and then start going overboard with exploiting them. But in the interim, I think it is good to applaud our chiefs for their stand against some of these illegal activities. I think it's an applause to them. So, honorable members, we have come to the end of our debate. And I want to thank all of us for our inputs on the subject matter. And equally, just as I said earlier, I implore all of us that when we go into our respective spaces, we should keep up the same energy of protecting our environment from all the various means. We shouldn't litter around and all those things that we know ourselves that are the way to go. Thank you very much. Honorable members, at this juncture, I will put the question before the House that uh, the voice votes, we take a voice vote about the resolution of the House, that the House resolves that the government restricts illegal mining activities, destroyed our environment and water bodies. So those in favor say aye. Aye. Those not in favor say nay. That is a very clear vote. The ayes have it, and it also suggests that we are well-meaning Ghanaians that are looking forward to having a very good environment that favors all of us. Thank you very much. Honorable members, any other comments, any other issues to be brought before the House? If there's no indication, then can a member kindly move a motion for the adjournment of this sitting?
Mr. Speaker and honorable senators, I am Sani Fuseni. Mr. President and honorable senators, I am Sani Fuseni, member of the Senate of Youth Impact Parliament and chairperson for organizing committee. I rise to move a motion that this sitting be adjourned if there are no further concerns. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Motion ably moved by the honorable senator, seconded by
Thank you very much, Mr. President and honorable senators. I second the motion moved by the honorable senator that the House be adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, the motion for adjournment has been moved and ably seconded. Honorable members in favor say aye. All members not in favor say nay. Honorable members, the ayes have it. Therefore, this sitting stands adjourned.